in the country. Where are you getting prepared? So the International Monetary Fund, IMF, has cut Kenya's 2021 economic growth forecast from 6.4 to 5.9% due to the uncertainties around the COVID-19 pandemic, unfavorable rain conditions, and the 2022 elections. So the revision is a stark contrast to National Treasury's prediction of 6%. KTN's Brenda Kerubo gives us more detail on this report.
The economy contracted by 0.3% in 2020, but it has been showing a remarkable recovery. Services sector has led the rebound in growth in 2021, particularly transport and storage, education, information and communication, wholesale and retail trade, and strong performance of the construction and manufacturing sectors. But the International Monetary Fund says the outlook remains uncertain on account of uncontrolled outbreaks of the COVID-19 pandemic, with limited availability of the vaccines within the country. National Treasury Cabinet Secretary Ukur Yatani, however, says the worst is behind us and maintains economic growth of 6% is attainable.
And we are also quite surprised that in the quarter 2 of GDP assessment, we performed 10.1. The growth was at 10.1% of GDP, unheard of since independence. We are not sure whether we are going to sustain, but we are looking at a projection of about 6% of GDP for this year. That is very good. Coming from that position to this position is very good. That means now more jobs, more opportunities, more consumption, more revenue.
Kenya's COVID-19 vaccination program, initially held back by lack of supply, picked up speed in the second half of 2021. About 9.3 million COVID-19 vaccine doses have been administered and 14.1% adults fully vaccinated.
Has been spread now all over the country and the progress is very good. We hope that since from our own intervention and budget, with adequate doses, we hope we are going to cover the entire country, the entire population. And this will give people an opportunity to be more resilient in terms of resistance to the challenge.
The other sectors that could undermine the nascent recovery include terms of trade shocks from high imported commodity prices, the upcoming general elections that could pressure budget execution, and unfavorable rain conditions that could exacerbate the severe drought in the northern regions.
We are not out of the wood yet. You never know the metamorphosis of this challenge of COVID. Now we are dealing with another strain. We never know what kind of form that will come later on. So we should not lose our guard.
The IMF downward revisions also implies lower growth potential going forward. As a result, the international lender revised the medium-term forecast down from 6.1% to 5.5%. Brenda Kerubo, KTN News.
Many thanks, my colleague Brenda Kerubo. That story right there sets the stage or sets the pace for our discussion with my resident panelist on BizChat Weekly, Mr. Ohorondo and William Odhiambo Ramogi joining us virtually, and Ken Gishinga is joining us from our town studio. Gentlemen, good to see you. Gishinga, I'd like to first go with you, your quick reactions on these predictions that now the IMF says you guys perhaps overestimated your growth potential.
I think it's a fair assessment. If you look at all the risks that still are abound next year, we have that big election in August. Then also we have international dynamics such as expected rising cost of fuel, which might affect some key sectors. So I think it was a prudent assessment, and I think it's in line with what we had projected.
William, the lenders in the country have reported CBK to IMF that that the CBK is not reviewing the lending rates as it were in last reviewed in 2019. What do you make of this move? And were there any other better means, perhaps more diplomatic, more arbitrary means of handling the issue? William.
Thank you, Bran.